We've all heard of the Bermuda Triangle where, over the last 60 years, around 50 ships and 20 planes have mysteriously crashed or disappeared in the Atlantic. But have you heard about the Nevada Triangle? It's smaller than the Bermuda Triangle but far more dangerous. Instead of 20 planes, over 2,000 aircraft have disappeared in the Nevada Triangle over the past 60 years. That's nearly one plane every week. What makes it even more unsettling is that hardly anyone talks about it. Today, we're diving into the mystery of the Nevada Triangle. Spanning a remote 25,000 square miles between Nevada and California, this area has claimed thousands of planes, and many of these crash sites remain undiscovered. The Nevada Triangle stretches from Las Vegas to Fresno and up to Reno. But who owns this land? The U.S. government controls most of it, and guess what? That includes Area 51. The first major plane disappearance was reported in 1938, just as Area 51 started its secretive research. And it's not just planes, people have vanished too. What's truly eerie is that many of these missing aircraft were flown by experienced pilots, including highly trained Air Force officers flying advanced military planes. One of the most famous cases is that of aviator Steve Fossett, who vanished in 2007. Fossett wasn't just an ordinary pilot, he held world records for flying solo and even circumnavigated the globe in a hot air balloon. He was also a triathlete and adventurer. If anyone could survive the wilderness, it was him. But on September 3, 2007, while flying over Nevada's Great Basin Desert, he took off and never returned. A massive search effort ensued, but only a year later his ID and crash site were found. His remains? Only 2 bones were discovered. The history of crashes in the Nevada Triangle goes way back. In 1943, a B-24 bomber on a routine training mission disappeared, and 9 planes were sent to search for it. One of the search planes also vanished. It wasn't until years later, when Huntington Lake Reservoir was drained, that one of the bombers was found submerged underwater with its crew still inside. In another strange case, in 1957, Air Force Lieutenant David Steves disappeared during a training flight. After being declared dead, he miraculously reappeared 54 days later, claiming he had survived in the wilderness by hunting and fishing. However, many doubted his story until, 20 years later, part of his jet was discovered by Boy Scouts. But most of the wreckage remains missing. In 1941, 5 military planes crashed on the same day in Kings Canyon National Park. And yet another famous disappearance is that of real estate developer Charles Ogle, who took off in 1964 and was never seen again. Despite extensive searches, neither Ogle nor his plane has ever been found. Then there's Major Ross Mulheron, who flew an experimental aircraft near Bakersfield in 1986. His crash remains shrouded in mystery, with some reports suggesting the plane was made of classified materials. To this day, the cause of his crash is still unknown. So what's really causing planes to vanish in the Nevada Triangle? Some attribute it to the region's unique climate, which creates powerful downdrafts that can literally pull planes out of the sky. Others suggest conspiracy theories involving Area 51 and secret government projects. While most experts point to the volatile weather, including something called the mountain wave, which creates dangerous winds, the exact cause remains unknown. As for why so many crash sites remain undiscovered, the rugged terrain and dense vegetation make it nearly impossible to find wreckage. Even during the search for Steve Fossett, 8 other crash sites were discovered, hidden in the remote Sierra Nevada mountains. What's really happening in the Nevada Triangle? Is it just treacherous weather, or is there something else at play? We may never know. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, hit that thumbs up button.